Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So today I'm going to talk about my expenses in Phnom Penh. Right now I've been traveling, so I haven't been posting a lot of videos. So right now I'm in Kimpot. So I'm going to talk about like realistic budget, not like exact numbers, but I'm going to rough the numbers and from my experience like how much it is. So right now I'm in Kimpot and everything has kind of gotten more expensive across the world, like with inflation. Like my girlfriend, she loves this place in Kimpot called Happy Pizza. And the drinks used to be $1 for like a mango shake, like a fruit drink, basically like a smoothie. And now it's $1.25. So basically in Phnom Penh, if you make like 1,500 USD to 2,000, you're like golden. Can you live off 1,000 USD? Yes, but it's like a monk. I think in Siem Reap, I was living under 1,000 USD when I was in Siem Reap. My cost of living was 900, but I was with the local that knew the local ways, and I only ran my AC at nighttime or when it was really hot. AC in Cambodia is very expensive. It's not as cheap as Vietnam. So yeah, that's like sometimes the AC can cost more than the rent. It's kind of crazy. So anyways, in Phnom Penh, my cost of living was like realistically like under 1,500, you know? My rent, I got an Airbnb for a month. I had to stay in Phnom Penh to help my girlfriend get her driver's license. So I got her a driver's license, an international driver's license. And then I was gonna do it for myself, but it was so complicated as a foreigner to get the driver's license. You need to have a lease and all this stuff, and it's like a lot of Cambodian bureaucracy is really complicated. So like, yeah, I could do it, but I'm leaving soon to go to Japan and to the Philippines to do scuba diving. So maybe in Philippines it will be easier for a foreigner to get a driver's license, international, a driver's license in Southeast Asia and an international driver's license. Because in Vietnam, like I would love to go back to Vietnam, and they're starting to get strict in Vietnam and tourist places about like foreigners driving. They're like cracking down on that. So if you have a Cambodian driver's license, you're like in the green area. Supposedly it's all Southeast Asia, that if you get one, and then you can get an international driver's license too, but it only lasts for a year. So yeah, I got her all good, so she's good. She can go to the market, drive around on scooter and have no problem, you know? So hopefully that like solves everything. I'm sure it will, you know? But, you know, these countries have a little bit of corruption, you know? Sometimes you gotta give them pocket money, but I mean, it's very rare, you know? Usually if people have to pay pocket money with the police, usually with a foreigner, they do something stupid like drink and drive. But I mean, there's always exceptions, you know? But in my experience, I haven't had any problem with the police. I've always been kind and had no problem. Usually they help me out. It's kind of crazy. But my cost of living was like 400 for my rent. I had a nice Airbnb. It was near the Vietnam embassy. It had I didn't have a TV, but it had a nice bedroom. It had good AC. It had a good kitchen to cook, and a decent bathroom, and like a living room area. And it was in a quiet area. It was like near the Vietnamese embassy. So like in Phnom Penh, it's like challenging to find like a good place to get. And it was like near the Russian market too, so that was like good if you need to get like groceries and stuff, and like local food too. So it was like 400 there, and then I went to the gym. My gym cost about like 25, actually my bad, $30. So $30. So it was like 400 for the Airbnb, including power, everything. Then plus the gym was $30. So 430 plus like groceries for me and my girlfriend. So that was like, it was like I'd say like about 300. You know, some of the place, when we got the groceries, my girlfriend would go and get the groceries at the local market, and then we would go to the mall and get like what we can't get at the local market, like milk. And then the thing is, like, people say, oh, Southeast Asia is so expensive, blah blah, because they want to live like in America. Like, the thing is, if you find stuff, like for example, let's say you love bacon, right? You can supplement it and get meatballs, and the meatballs taste different than the bacon, but it has the protein. Like with me, like my hard part when I first came to Asia was getting the protein, and now I figured it out. Like we found pancakes in the mall, like Japanese pancakes. They're like fluffy pancakes, and my girlfriend loves to make them. So like we found all this stuff to supplement. Like, yeah, if you get the American brand, like the American syrup and the American pancakes, they add up. But if you look and supplement it, like the Japanese pancake or honey is cheap here, and it's better than syrup in my opinion, and it's affordable, you know? So like a whole liter, I think like a liter is like 50 to 20 to 50 depending on the quality of honey and everything, you know? So, and then my groceries cost about like $3.50, so I'm at like about 800, let's say, roughly, you know. And then plus like entertainment, that's cheap. Like I rented a scooter, that's 210, so let's say 800 roughly. Then plus that's 900, 1,000, so I'm at 1,000. Plus like entertainment, let's say $100, so 1,100. Then the rest is like whatever pocket money, you know. So yeah, so that roughly, like, as long as like I'm under 1,500, I'm doing good. So I just take that money and save it for traveling in Cambodia, and then the rest I reinvest. So I make almost $4,000 off of VA benefits. So I take the money that I do and I try to be as cheap but in quality, right? Oh, and I have protein powders, that's another $100. So like 1,200 is probably my real cost of living if I took all the numbers and broke it down. Now I'm rough balling it all, like I'm not doing it exact, but that's roughly like how much it is, my cost of living in Phnom Penh, 1,200. So I take the money that I have and I save about like 500, and then the rest I reinvest in the stock market. So my goal is to have $1 million by the time I'm 40. So I can do that here in Southeast Asia, and I know like Cambodia is like basically my second home. But as being a foreigner here, you're never gonna be accepted. You're always an outsider. You're always a tourist. So you always have to keep that in mind, you know. And like the city is good for if you have to do administrative stuff. So I had to go there for my girlfriend's Japanese visa. I got that approved, so that was awesome. So we're going to Japan together. She's super excited, so I'm gonna show videos on that. And then my cost of living is like basically, let's say 1,200 USD in Phnom Penh. So that's good. It's hard to get that. Can you make it cheaper? Yeah. Can you make it better? Yeah. Can you have a better apartment? Of course. I had to do an Airbnb. I didn't want to sign like I was trying to do a month lease, but those are hard to find, and it was just like complicated. I'm sure you could find that, you know. But I mean, it depends what you want. But now I'm in Kimpot and I love it here. It's like laid back. It's cool. I got to experience Cambodia and Siem Reap with the jungle and the temples, and got to experience that for a year. And now I'm exploring Kimpot, and it's like so cool how you can have so different in the country, but so like good quality of life. I'm like so happy to be out of that crazy city. But I got her Japanese visa, her driver's license, international driver's license done, so good to go. And we're in Kimpot, and it's nice here. It's beautiful, and yeah. So if anyone has any questions about Phnom Penh, like, please let me know. Like I know that some people, they have medical stuff, so they got to stay in the capital. Some people, they love the capital. Like Phnom Penh kind of has like it's kind of same energy as Saigon, a little more laid back, but similar energy, like fast paced, go. Some people thrive on that. Some people have to be there for business. Before I was teaching English, you know. But now my plan is to do scuba diving, to like basically just pay for my like groceries and stuff and living, and just something to do. Like right now I teach English online, so there's like a couple things you can like Google it on the AI, and it'll like send you some stuff. So that's what I'm doing right now to like supplement like basic income. And basically right now my priority is health, travel, and investing, you know. And I'm doing good with the stock market. I mean, I'm doing good. I got like about 50,000 US dollars, about 45,000 in my Roth IRA, and 3,500 in my CMA. So I'm doing good, you know. I'm hoping to reach 100,000 soon, in a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 years, or maybe sooner. You know, it's just been challenging with inflation in the world, you know. Like these people, they just talk about stuff and it's like you're a robot. Like you gotta enjoy life. And that's where I came to this point where before, when I came to Cambodia, I was like a monk. I was saving a lot of money, but I was losing a lot of weight. I wasn't taking care of myself, you know. So now I'm like, okay, health is priority. I'm gonna spend that extra money. I'm gonna get that protein in, and I'm gaining weight. I went from like 70 kilos to like 75 kilos right now, in like about like a month. So like, yeah, you can put it on. The problem was I just wasn't eating the right amount of protein because I didn't want to spend the money. I was trying to be as cheap as possible, like a local, and I wasn't eating the beef luk luk, because beef luk luk is a Cambodian dish. It contains a lot of protein. It has beef, egg, rice, and some vegetables, right? But it's usually more expensive, you know. So I wasn't getting that because I was trying to save money. But anyways, I decided to do that and go the extra mile, and it's working out. And I think in life, when you're young, explore, travel, and take that money and reinvest, because a lot of people, they like travel and then they have nothing. Like my dad, he's going to Antarctica, he's doing all this cool stuff, but he is having a problem financially. And that's the problem. A lot of people, they travel the world and then you become the cool uncle. And it's like you have no money to back up, and then when you're older and you have health problems and stuff, it's quite challenging. Like it's rare to find someone that travels and reinvests. So that's kind of like been my plan. So I hope that helps some people out. If anyone has any questions about Phnom Penh or any like wants me to do a video on anything, yeah, let me know. See ya.